We are going to make a stunning glue gun lion piece today. I have been working on these techniques for quite some time, and I think that this is the most effective way to use a glue gun like a paintbrush. You might be surprised just how well it works, so wait until the end to see. Welcome to all my patrons, subscribers and all you lovely guests, especially if you're here for the first time. Hope you're going to enjoy the episode. Some time ago I started the animal series. That was very popular. Thank you so much for your lovely comments, all the messages. I really appreciate them. Now, I did have some requests for another creature, for a lion. Your wish is my command, and here comes the lion. The canvas, yes, the same size canvas, 40 by 30. You know that I keep my designs and I share them with my patrons, so I wanted the lion to be the same style as all of the creatures that I've done so far, but because the lion will have a huge mane, I think it's going to look something like my doggy here. I probably went way too far with this one. Looks really, it's too dense. I think I'll have to reduce the amount of lines while I'm using glue gun, otherwise everything is going to melt together. If you're wondering why on earth is the lion stuck here, why is he cut in half? It's because silly me, I found the small piece first and I started straight away, and then I realized it's not going to fit, so I had to attach another piece, but it doesn't really matter that much. I gave up on half of the lines, too many. Tracing down now. There are many ways to transfer an image if you're not doing it directly on the canvas. I hate doing it on the canvas because I've already rubbed it off probably 30 times. Imagine now doing it on the canvas. Also, I like repositioning my pieces and finding the best spot for them. There are so many different ways to transfer an image. I usually use baking paper, tracing paper, whatever I can find. It's not a problem for me. However, you can use carbon paper, you can use transfer paper. I can draw over those lines. I'll do this, which is very annoying. So we'll have a little break and I'll be back. Let's see. All right. I might go over some sections and ignore some others. There's so many lines. It's going to be different this time. I'm going to do individual items. I'm going to do the face on the mat and then the rest on the canvas. That's probably the best idea. Okay, we've got this. Don't forget that you can find the extended versions of my tutorials on Patreon each week, along with printed home stencils of my pieces, so you can get started on these projects even quicker. So far good. Wanted a bigger blob there. So, what am I doing? Okay. Well, things happen. What's the silliest? My bad. That's all right. A little puzzle here. Good. Okay, I'll continue and then we'll try to make the eyes separately. I'm really worried that I'm going to mess it up. Okay, so far not bad. The top one seems to be thinner than the bottom one. Can I fix it? Yes, we can. I've managed to make the dog's nose quite nicely. I was pleased with myself, but I wonder, this is going to be I don't know, harder or easier? What do you think? Might start from the top. Is it the same? First attempt, mediocre, I would say. I'll try again. If I were to do it on the canvas, I'll be probably crying now. Now we're going to see if this process is easier or not. I am applying glue, diamond glaze, to my nose. I was going to say my nose. His nose. My plan is to make the difficult parts individually on the mat, stick them on, and then continue with glue gun. Hopefully this is going to be way easier than both options. By both options I mean doing it only on the canvas or doing it only on the mat, because can you imagine peeling this image from the mat here, the whole thing? It will take me forever to glue the pieces. So as usual, I'm trying to make everything easier for everyone. Now, putting it in the right spot. the mouth. I'm going to position the midsection accurately first. I'm creating eyes. I'm not really sure how big they should be, so I'm making a couple, and then I'm going to see if they fit nicely. So these were the hardest bits. Now it's going to be super easy. Officially, no more gluing. I'm done with the parts that I really wanted to stay identical to my design. The rest is fine. So I am applying the lines directly onto the canvas. As you can see, I am changing some of them because it doesn't really matter how the hair strands go. The one thing that I have to be a little bit more careful are the ears. The rest, easy peasy. This is going really well so far, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the black glue sticks, because I don't know if you used any other color than transparent. Some of you have used colorful glue sticks, and I wonder what your experience is. It's different. It works different to the transparent one for me. A bit harder, maybe stiffer in a way, and also I don't think it adheres as well as the transparent one, which is interesting, so I have to be very careful that all the edges are really well stuck. I don't have to worry too much because I am going to cover everything with a coat of paint, so everything is going to be stuck. However, if you were not using anything else, I don't know, the edges are a little bit more fragile. The added pigment probably must have changed the consistency of the glue. It's not like a different product, however it does behave differently for me. Could you please comment below the video if you've used any other colors, and maybe even the sparkly glue sticks and the black ones? I'm really curious. Thank you so much. I'm going to use the same colors, almost the same colors as I used for the horse and the dog in the same series. This is burnt sienna, burnt amber, yellow ochre. It does look lighter because there's some titanium white in it. Making sure that every paint is the same. What we have inside: 1 part of paint, 2 parts of Floetrol, but I don't measure anything, so if there is a bit more, well, that's it. And then quite a lot of water. This is titanium white with a bit of those mixed together. Another option, white with some more brown. We've got gold, and this is the color I did not use for the horse or the dog, metallic copper. I will need a strong hairdryer to blow the paint over so many, well, let's call them obstacles, yes? So Monster 2 is going to be used. So this is going to be the main background color. I should actually call this technique, I don't know, should we call it an AB technique or something? Oh, this is probably the most, call it, dense design that I've made. Oh, cover the eyes. Lots of lighter colors. What haven't I haven't added the bronze yet, and gold. Yep. Maybe I should move it a little bit. This is the first time I'm using such a small amount of paint. I'm a little bit concerned, but not too much. Cold air and lower setting. I'll be covered with paint. Yeah. Okay, one problem, this. The rest is fine. So what do I do with that? Good mess. Definitely good mess. We need the lighter colors. Yeah, that's good. This hairdryer is so powerful. actually blew so much paint off, which is actually very helpful because the painting will be dry in no time. Let's see what happens. I'm loving the colors. Now, should I add something here? Let's check the edges, and I have to make sure that they are covered nicely. Okay, and I'll collect the leftover beigey color. Here's the new color. Oh, very pretty beige. I don't have that shade. Awesome. It's going to be useful for another painting. Some lines got covered. With the pouring acrylics. So I'm using Posca pens to go over some of them. Pretty quick job and rather satisfying. Perfect to listen to something and relax. So every glue line is now completely encased in paint on both sides. What's the plan now? We have to add some shadows and some lighter sections where they should be. So this is my darkest. Do I have anything darker than this? I wonder. Well, I added some black. So now we'll have a proper shadow here. It's really fun filling those already existing sections. And I'm going to repeat it around the chin because there should be a shadow underneath. A little bit of light color under the eyes. I'm using this cream color, trying to keep the black sections untouched. Before I do the eyes and the nose, I am adding a couple of lighter strands to some of the sections. I don't think I'm going to make any whiskers. I am indicating some sections that, well, the whiskers grow from. I can do a couple of lines here, but I'm definitely not going to paint the lines over those sections. That's not the best idea. I've got pink blush and some of the browns here. Good for the base. I think accidentally I got the right color. It's neither pink nor brown, it's a mix. The eye color. I've got gold and white and some of deep yellow. It's probably good. Oh, that's too yellow. That's okay, I can do a first layer and then make it golder, more golden. I know what I was using, Naples yellow with white. The last thing I will do, I am going to paint some whiskers just like this. I'm definitely not going to paint the lines over those sections. That's not the best idea. Hint of whiskers. You know, some indication that they are whiskers, but not overly dramatic. Let's add some black to the eye. Where's the eye going to be? The pupil. Oops. White dot. A little bit of light. Well, there we are. If you enjoyed this one, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you have watched the video till the end, would you mind posting a lion emoji under the video? And don't forget to check out my Patreon for extended versions of my tutorials. Also, you can own this lion or any other of my original art when you head over to my website, abcreativeofficial.com. Thank you so much for watching and see you all next week. Bye bye!